Hi, my name is Alvin Smalabe. What I'm going to report today is about basic programming language. Here are my topics: a short introduction about the language and brief history. Second, it will be what are the reasons why people need to study this language. And thirdly, what are the criteria for evaluating this programming language. Fourth, what are the types of basic statements. And fifth, what are the basic syntax. And while introducing the basic syntax, I'm going to demonstrate it using IBM Computer 5051 Monochrome Simulator. But before we start, we need to know what is BASIC. BASIC is an acronym for Beginner's All-Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code. From the word BASIC, its objective is to simplify programming process. Before BASIC was introduced, computer is gigantic and as big as refrigerator and washing machine. This language makes computer personal and portable. BASIC is invented. BASIC is invented by two mathematicians from Dartmouth College. They are John Kemeny and Thomas Kurtz. In 1964, they successfully run the BASIC using GE Computer System. They introduced 14 commands that are similar to English. One of the examples of this are print, let, input, if then else, go to loop, end, and then rem for remark. The inventor's vision in creating BASIC is to make programming accessible to all students of Dartmouth. With the help of the foundation, they funded the computer lab for the college. It composed of mainframe and 11 teletype machine that is used to encode the program. The facility is open for all the students and staff who are interested in programming. After the years of success, BASIC became hype in popularity among schools and other universities. Basic programming is integrated in the curriculum. In 1975, the product of learning BASIC using teletype machine, there are Paul Allen and Bill Gates get interested in one machine named MIT's Altair 8800B. They write BASIC and tested using simulator to make it compatible with the new machine and offer it to the company. They established Microsoft as the company and licensed the new Microsoft BASIC to Altair. Microsoft BASIC is the first product sold by Microsoft. Then later, the company created a similar program for Apple and IBM that makes the company successful. At present, the latest version of Visual Basic is VB.NET that is vastly used by software programmers. What are the reasons for studying basic programming language? Firstly, many of the universities and colleges and schools includes BASIC in their curriculum that requires students to study the language. Secondly, it is a well-known computer language. Programming structure and syntax is simplified. It is very easy to understand and can be learned by any person without programming experience. Third reason, upon purchase of computer, software package includes basic software and operating system that are stored in floppy disk. Fourth reason, software support like reading materials, example books, and magazine are readily available in stores, shops, and libraries. And lastly, young generation are very interested in creating games. Unlike today, games in this era are needed to be encoded before the gamer can enjoy the thrill of games. Line by line, they are required to type precisely before the program can be executed. What are the criteria for evaluating BASIC? The first criteria is readability. To start any program, it is important that the codes are easy to comprehend. BASIC is designed for non-experienced programmer. Commands similar to English are very easy to understand. Second criteria is writability. It is easy to start the code, direct to the point, it is not case sensitive, and no semicolon, and materials needed are available. Reliability. This language are vastly used and tested by experts in this field like Apple, IBM, and Microsoft. And lastly, costs. It is not only the value of money that save. Cost is also related to time. The simplicity of this language will save time and the effort. It does not require expensive training to learn this language. It can be learned by self-study. Sample codes can be found for free in magazines and books. What are the types of basic statement? There are 5 basic statements. Firstly, it's about the arithmetic. It's adding, subtraction, division, multiplication, square root. Second, basic input and output. It's by entering data and displaying the result. Third, it is about comparison using if then else. Fourth, documentation, which is very important. If, so we call it comment or remarks. And lastly, this makes this programming language famous for by using the go-to command or the go-to sequence. So what I'm going to do today is about what I'm going to do now is to demonstrate on how to write this code. What I'm using now is a simulator of IBM PC 5150. So to start the program, so this is like a normal command prompt in PC. So first we need to check first if BASIC is available. So by just typing the dir command, and then it will display what are the content of your floppy drive. So at this era, this is a monochrome computer. It's a very old. So we're using floppy disk to boot up this computer. Doesn't have any GUI. So first type the word basic, and then from here it is like a word editor. So at the bottom you can find the command. So F1 for lists, F2 for running, F3 for load, F4 for save, and so on. So here you can start your code by writing the first line. So we will number it. So in this simulator, it can accept also even you write it in. It can start with 1, but in the instruction, it should be start with 10, and then followed by 20, 30 until 999. So now, I'm going to start my line number 10. So normally, what you're going to write here is the CLS, but I'm going to demonstrate first what is a documentation. I'll put a remark, so rem. So this is a demo program for basic output and input. So this line will not be read by the computer. So this second line will be line 20, and then I'm going to put CLS for clearing the screen. So it will erase everything from the screen. Line 30, I'm going to start to display what will be my question. So my first question is, it will ask about my name. So I can type here print, and then followed by double quote, and then I will type the question. What is your name? I'll put a space, and then going to the next line. So the syntax for accepting the input is write input and then the variable. So for accepting the character as a string, the variable should end with the dollar sign. So I will use n as a variable and then dollar sign. Unlike with the new programming language, you can write as n. There's no limitation on writing the variable name. But in this program, the maximum character you can put only is up to 2, and then you can put the dollar sign after. So all in all, it will be 3. So next line will be, it will ask about the year of my birth. So print. So this time I'm going to demonstrate the short method on how to write the question. I will use directly the command input and then write directly the question, like enter, or the question will be year of birth. And then followed by comma, and then the variable. So I will assign y as the variable. And then next, I'm going to display all the inputs. So from the name, it will be displayed. So I will use print. And then I'm going to put a label before the variable. So here, your name is, and then I'll put a space, and then followed by semicolon, and then next will be the variable and dollar sign. Comma can be acceptable also instead of semicolon, but when you display it, there will be a big space compared to semicolon. So 70, line 70, I will do the process for the year, for the input of year of birth, so to calculate the age. So I'll put the process, but this line can be put in a line 60, but just to demonstrate what is the process on how to do the age. So it will be, I will use let to assign another variable, let a equals to 2019, subtract by the year of birth, which we used in line 50. So at this point, it will subtract 2019 with the year of birth to get the age. In line 80, I'm going to display the result, the variable a, with the label. So I'm going to print it, print, your age is, and then followed by semicolon, and then the variable. In line 90, I'm going to end the line, or this is the end of my program, and then before I run it, I will save it by pressing F4 in the keyboard, and then put the file name. So the important in this file name, you should write the extension name, which is, it will be .bas. So I'm going to write it as, the file name will be acs.bas, and close with quote, and then press enter, and then it will save. So to run this program, you have to press F2. So now it is asking about the name. So I'm going to write any characters. So I'm going to write my name, then press enter to store it. So when you press enter, it will store to variable $n $sign. So now it goes to the second question, which is year of birth. So I'm going to write my year of birth, and then press enter. Once I press enter, it will be stored to variable y. And after this line, it will display the output. Your name is Aldwin, and then your age is 44. And that's all for this program. So to list again the code, you have to press F1, and then press enter, and then it will redisplay whatever you type in this code. That's the end for the first program. So in the next demonstration, I'm going to demonstrate is about the branching. It's about the branching and comparison using if then else. So I will try to reboot this simulator for me to have a new line, or a new start for my new program. So first I'm going to type again basic, and then from here I will type the first line. So this time I'm not going to put the remark, so I'll just put clear screen. In line 20, what I'm going to write is the question. So I will do the short method. I'm going to do the second line, which is the input. And then put the question mark, and then followed by semicolon, and then the variable m. You can assign any letter or character if you want. So in the line 30, so now I'm going to test my variable, which is m. So I'm going to write if m greater than equal to 75. So this is my condition, and then followed by the action that I want. So it will be 10. So I will instruct my computer to go to line 40. So in the line 40, what I'm going to write there is it will print pass, and then follow. But in this line, you can write it also the command print pass, and then else print failed. But just to demonstrate the command go to, I'm going to use go to, or directing this line going to that line. So then go to, then followed by else, and then go to in line 60. So in my line 40, this will be my output if the condition is greater than equal to 75. So it will print passed. So from here, in from line 40, I can end it. I can put end. So from line 30, it will go to line 40 and then we'll print pass and then it will end. But to add another output, so I'm going to add line 60. So I'm going to print failed. And then line 70, I'll put end also. So as you can see, I have two ends here because what will happen there if I will not put end after the pass in line number 50, it will print pass and failed because it will not terminate the program. It will go directly to line 60 and 70. But using this condition else, it will go to 60, it will skip the 40 and 50, and then it will print failed and end the program. So let's see if my program is correct. So first, again, we will save. I'll put another name. For example, I'll put here Aldrin as my file name. Dot bas, and then press enter. And then now I'm going to test to run it. So it will ask now for a mark. So let's test a mark that is passed. So I'll put 100. Press enter, so it shows pass. So to run it again, just list again the program by pressing F1 and then enter. So you will see now the code. So to run it again, press F2. It will ask again. So this time we will input a fail mark. So it should be less than 75. So this time I'll put 30. Press enter and then it shows failed. So this is how the basic works. So that's all. Thank you for listening and thank you.